Hello! The next thing I'm going to try to fix is this nice radio, CD player, cassette player and AM FM radio. So it has some stickers in and it looks brand new. It's just a scratch. Let's see what we can do about it. And I'm not powering it on because there's lots of stuff rattling around and I'm afraid that powering it on could do some more harm than good. So the CD player has some scratch marks, probably because the discs are rubbing on the plastic. I think the CD mechanism is a bit slanted, and the cover skips some teeth while closing it down. So yeah, the thing is pretty beat up and I'm going to try to make it work like new. So let's open it up. Here we have our radio. I think to open it up we need to take out these screws. Yeah, they are marked with some arrows. Let's take the battery cover off. The inside of the battery compartment looks brand new. Let's open up the screws. The antenna is nice and clean, but it's broken in here. I'm afraid we can't do much about it. Oops. Yeah, this one is completely broken. You probably can't see it, but yeah, I can see there that the post, the mounting boss for this screw is rotating inside, so I think we can't count with this one. A common sight for today, lots of bits of plastic coming out of this thing. We have more screws on the top. Looking from here, if you had this handle opened, you could see the disc spinning. Interesting. Yep, it's coming out. Yeah, the screw post is coming with these pieces. The main board, it is in good shape. I don't see any major breaks on the board. I'll take some wires out from here. The main power plug is broken. With this big size stuff, it's hard to get good shots. I'm going to get a soldering iron and remove the battery wires. Very simple. White negative, red positive. And now I need to take the main transformer out. Yay! Now this part is free, and as you can see, it's just a scratch. And the scratch comes right out from this hole through here and expands and expands and I still don't know what I'm going to do here. I don't have any experience with epoxy molds, but yeah, it should be fairly simple for someone who understands about rapid prototyping to take a mold of this side, maybe 3D print something in reverse and make the mold from the other side. But this side is also broken. So yeah, this part was probably run over by a truck or something, and I need to find a way to fix or to give it some extra years of life. I'll put this part aside and I'll look at it later. So the next thing is to check where all the noise of the moving parts is coming from and let them all out, because yeah, I've heard a lot of things rattle inside. Yeah, these yellow ones are just hot glue, but all these other ones are just plastic ribs that broke off. This part looks important, but I don't know where it came from. Let's just check why the disc mechanism is slanted and why the discs are rubbing against the plastic. So the only thing I can see here is that these rubber bumpers that are absorbing the shocks on the CD mechanism, they are made of different materials, and the ones on the left are more squished than the ones on the right. I can't see anything broken, so maybe this is just a question of materials, because the CD mechanism is okay. So I don't know if it was the spindle that went down, but it looks like the material for these bumpers squished. The gray ones squished more than the red ones. Yeah, the cassette mechanism belts, they are a bit loose. If I can, I will replace them. Maybe the next thing I'll do is to test it to see if it powers on and if it works as a radio, if there's nothing else malfunctioning, and then we will try to fix the mechanical stuff, the CD drive and the cassette mechanism. So let's test the radio. So 9 volts DC on the power supply, and let's see how it goes. Here and here. Okay, nothing. And it's on CD mode. If I press play, will it come alive? Nope. If I press okay, radio, nothing. CD, nothing. Oh, I think this thing is completely dead. And we have more bits of plastic coming off. A common sight for today. No power consumption at all. yeah, we have further troubleshooting to do. Well, it looks like I'm an idiot. That's why you shouldn't copy anything you see on this channel. I was putting the negative on the aerial cable. So this cable right here that I was using as the negative is the cable for the antenna. So I'll cut it flush to avoid getting the same mistake again. Yeah, I told you you should be careful about the way I diagnose electronics. So let's test now if there's any radio or something. Yep. It's working. Yay. CD. There's some kind of life. I don't hear anything, but it's drawing 0.2 amps. So, yeah, let's try to put a... No. I know that this is working now. Let's put the CD mechanism leveled and see if it plays okay. Then we will address the other issues. Oops. Ah, fuck. Yeah, after breaking it comes out like nothing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this one was easier. Let's see if the whole front assembly comes off. Yay! Yes. This will give us better access to the belt and better access to the CD player. So here you can see better the color of the bumpers. So there's red ones and gray ones, and the gray ones look a lot flimsy than the red ones. So yeah, these ones are a bit loose. I might put some washers under them. Yeah, and that's what would give the CD mechanism a raise or a lift to avoid it scratching with the plastic again. Let's get this ribbon cable out of the main board. Yes, and we have a clear access to the CD mechanism. Or maybe I'll just take these two, because the other two with the red bumpers are okay. So let's just put some washers, but I need to find washers that inner diameter is bigger than the plastic post, and I'll maybe have to use about 2 per side. So I'll go to my washer box and try to find the correct ones for here. and I don't think I have the correct sized ones. Nope. But I think I have some O-rings. Oh yeah, I found it. Yep, these are perfect. Look, and they feel the perfect. They perfectly fill the gap between the washer and the CD drive bumper. So let's screw it in. So it's getting to the end. Okay. Yep, it looks perfect to me. Yes, it's looking good. So let's do the other one, and then we can test it. Yep, the rubber O-rings did the trick perfectly. Now the CD mechanism is looking good. The disc can probably spin freely now. Now there's a problem with this. This is that a lubricated gear that makes the soft opening of the cover, and it's a bit slanted. I think this grease increased in consistency over the years, and then the strength necessary to close the door made this mechanism bent. Let's try to change this lubrication fluid that is in here, that is very sticky. Yeah, I'll change it with some kind of lithium grease or something. That will be a lot smoother. This is the isopropyl I use, 99.5%, and I don't think this material is doing anything. Yeah, I think it keeps viscous in the same way. What? Will I have to use any kind of solvent or diluent? Yeah, because the quantity is smaller, now it spins better, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be good. Bits of plastic in the teeth. This probably is part of the CD door. Yeah, it looks a lot better. It's a bit more fluid. I don't know what kind of paste should I be using on this. Yeah, the CD cover will open instantly if I don't have any kind of sticky grease to put inside here. So I have no idea what to use on these mechanisms. If you have some suggestion, please put it on the comments below. Okay, and thank you in advance. So I'll just try to lift this plastic. I will not try to lift this plastic part because it broke right off. Also, one of two things is happening here: or the plastic is very brittle, or today I'm the strongest man in the world. So minimum effort, everything breaks. Okay, let's just try to put a big washer and fix this in a different way in here to avoid it breaking and to avoid it being slanted regarding the CD cover. Everything is breaking apart, so let's do the best we can. And I will cut this small rest, and I think this is going to be okay. It's not slowing the CD cover. First, we are in favor of the gravity. That is more difficult to judge the opening speed. And yeah, and this has some kind of play. This tilts a bit inside, and the contact with the paste is a bit lost when it slants to one side or to the other. But yeah, there's still some stickiness to it. I think you can see the paste still sticking to both sides, and I think with some use, this thing might be working acceptably. So I will just file down a bit of this pointy stuff, of this pointy shape, to make it go a bit closer to the teeth on the CD cover. So I will file it. It's a lot better now because it was very pointy and didn't let the mechanism go closer to the lid. Yeah. Now it will work better, and I will put the washer and the screw. Yeah, but I think it's working. Let's turn it upside down and see if it works against gravity. Yeah, it's opening very fast. Yeah, if you know exactly what product is the ideal to put in here, please tell me in the comments below. I don't know, I don't have any idea about the kind of paste I should be using inside these kind of mechanisms. So I'll leave this one as it is, and let's tackle the cassette mechanism. And okay, we can work on the cassette mechanism. I think the main belt is okay, and the secondary belt, it moves a bit. They might be acceptable, but okay, let's take them out. First one is out. It's even with a good round shape. Maybe these ones don't need to be replaced. This one looks a bit more wobbly. Let's see if it comes out. Oh, there's some mechanism holding it. Underneath this flywheel, I'll have to pull it to some other side. Yes. Yeah, there was something catching there. So I don't think these belts are that bad, and they are a bit hard. This one looks fine. So yeah, whatever. These are cheap parts. If I have the right size, I'll replace them. I forgot this was going to be a pain in the ass, and I think I have a better idea. I'll take the mechanism out, and I'll take the slow opening gear out also, and I'll share a bit of the paste between that gear and the gear on the CD drive. Yep, it's also very sticky and terrible, and with pieces of broken plastic. Ugh. Jesus, really sticky. Yes, now I can regulate a bit of the stickiness of the CD drive with this. Ooh. Okay, cassette mechanism is out. We can give it some press there. Good time to clean and lube anything. Isopropyl alcohol on the playhead. We will also clean the pinch rollers and the capstan wheel, the erasing magnet. Yay! Let's put the belts. Need to put the belt on the groove behind the flywheel, and that's the hard part.
And this is the part where I was looking at the belts and I noticed something strange on the keys.
And I found something. That part that looked to be important is part of the record key. So the record key is moving freely, and this broke off from it. So we'll have to take the cassette mechanism apart and remove the key assembly to repair it. Yeah, it has already one key repaired before with a piece of metal. So this has already been opened, and now we need to repair another key. So, yep, the key assembly, and as you can see, there's one key repaired before, there's one key that was repaired before, this one, and now you can see this one is broken. So another thing to rebuild. Yeah, I think it looks perfect. The cassette belts are replaced. Now it's time to deal with the wheel that slows down the opening, but I'll tackle that and the CD mechanism at the same time. But first, it's time to address the major problems of the plastic parts. So let's repair these keys, try to make them work as best as possible, so we can reassemble and do the trick with this paste. Let's try to get some space. Ouch. Nothing like a clean desk. So this thing is going to break. Probably if I try to bend it up, it will go. This one had snapped, and they fixed it with a piece of metal and epoxy. And I think I'm going to copy this solution. So these keys have an hollow side. You can see in that one there's a hollow side, and here previous work was cutting a hole through there and put a piece of metal curved in and glued with epoxy. So you can see there's a J-shaped part in metal, and I think I'll copy the solution to this key. Yeah, it's even turned to the same side, so I think we might be okay. I just don't know what to do to this part, but maybe I will do the metal part with the two prongs coming out in the front right here in order to keep this functionality. Oops, this one is also broken. I don't think this broken plastic thing is going to stop. Yeah, it's plastics are very brittle, and they are dying quite quickly, so we have a lot of plastic to fix. Sometimes I love plastics, sometimes I hate them. So let's study this and fix it. Well, in order to fix this, we have to take it apart. So to disassemble it, we just need to pry a bit this part, and we will do it like this, and yep, all the keys come off. I will pull on this side too, and the keys are free. And here is the other one that was fixed before. Let's try to replicate this solution, but with a piece of metal that does both these tabs function. Let's try to do this. So I've been making some experiences, and I think this thing will probably work. This is more or less a copy of the same thing that a previous repairer did, and it worked, but the metal piece that he used, it's a lot stronger than the one I found to have laying around to copy this mechanism and have the function. And to make it realign, I will heat it up and press it into the plastic with some pliers, and then I will use epoxy glue to make it strong like it is on this repaired one. Let's try it. This is the record key, and if you press it with a normal strength, this clip will bend, so I will have to use stronger metal. Stronger steel. Let's bend it. So bend it like this. Time to heat it and press it into the plastic. So some metal, some heat, some epoxy, and we will fix the keys. It didn't work as well as I thought it would. Yeah, I'm obviously too slow changing from the heat to the plastic part, and I need to have another strategy.
it melted a bit, but it looks slightly better. I think I'll use the soldering iron to persuade this to penetrate the plastic. Well, it seems to work. Yeah. Yes, it looks a lot better now. I can see the plastic starting to give up. I need to do it against some surface. Otherwise we will just bend the part. Yeah, it's almost perfect. Fits a bit better. Yeah, and it will need some filing. Well, let's put epoxy on these two keys. Meanwhile, while the keys are drying, let's try to fix this slight scratch on this piece. So it goes from here up to somewhere there, and on this side we also have this small part missing, and this part is fixed here, and it's obviously from the other side. So let's see what we can do to this. We'll fix it on the other side. I'll just try to use super glue and reinforce it with epoxy and baking soda and wire and whatever I can get to make it stronger. I'm going to use this Ultra Unique or Ultra Unique, whatever. It's looking like new. I can see no difference. Let's put the last piece in and nobody will ever notice this thing was broken. Yes, it's seamless. And this part here, lucky. Let it dry and it will be like new. And now our keys. So these were good. I reinforced them with epoxy, a bit epoxy down here to avoid them breaking any further. And these are our two fixed keys. This one with a complete loop of metal, and this one with just the upper part and the reinforcement with epoxy on the underside. So I think these two will work fine. So let's reassemble this and put them on the cassette mechanism. Let's do it. Yay! So this one is okay, but this one is too thick. Yay, finally. Maybe we will have to tune the position of the metal part, but for now let's reassemble it and see how it performs on the mechanism. And here is our cassette mechanism. Let's try to fit this in there. No, that one is out of alignment. Come on, man, line up your teeth. Okay, let's put the screws in. This teeth is a bit crooked. It's the original one. What's going on? It broke. It broke right off. What? And I can see why. Because pause mechanism is okay. Fast forward and rewind is okay. But the play one, well, I've broken it. I broke it now. So yeah, we will have an extra key to repair. Yeah, one of the repaired keys broke off. Why? What's wrong with this? Yeah, so the play function works. Just didn't understood why it was so hard to push. I'll just test with the record key in its place to see if the metal part is strong enough. Well, this key gets stuck too. Why? Yeah, the eject key, it does also get stuck. Yep, that's probably why it broke. Because as you can see, the broken keys were eject, play and record. Yep, there's something clearly wrong with this mechanism and we need to sort it out, otherwise we'll keep breaking keys. So if I press play and I press eject, the mechanism doesn't come back all the way, so it's a bit jammed. And while it doesn't come back all the way, it lets me eject one time, but it doesn't let me open the door. And I can just open the door after the mechanism comes back all the way. So yeah, there's something jamming this and I need to free it up. Maybe I'll try to find the way to lubricate this and to make it free again. Yep, that's just what it needs. It needs to be freed up. Yeah, another job on this fantastic radio. In the meanwhile, while I recharge my patience, I will try to get some of this gooey stuff from here and put it on the mechanism that was clean and had little gooey stuff inside. So that's something I will do while my patience is growing up to deal with the cassette mechanism and with the rest of the broken stuff. So I've put some more gooey stuff in there and now it's opening a little bit more smoothly. Yeah, it's not as slow as it was originally, but yeah, it will be okay. So this one is sorted out. Let's go for the cassette. So after some persuasion with silicone, now the mechanism is working more or less easily. So opening the door always works. Playing and ejecting makes everything work, but fast forwarding is a little bit better. So yeah, it just needed a bit of lubrication. Meanwhile, that little pin in there just broke off and there was a spring that flew away. So I will not be able to put that pin back and that spring. But I don't know, will it make the mechanism not work? I don't know. All you experts of cassette mechanisms, please tell me anything if that spring is absolutely necessary. Of course it should be, but yeah, now I'm filming and the thing goes crazy again. Come on. Yeah, it got stuck once. This thing will make me crazy. So let's keep moving. So the mechanism is acceptable. Let's try to fix the keys and reassemble everything, because I still need to glue some broken parts and reinforce others, and let's see how it goes. So play key is repaired for the second time, this time melted. Well, nobody will see that, so let's go. It's too long, I need to cut a bit. Now that's better. So let's screw in. The keys look perfectly aligned. It's even suspicious. Okay, eject mechanism is now working. Forward, backwards. Come on. Why does it start jamming when I screw it up? Yeah, and I can't pull. Jesus. Yeah, it starts acting up when I screw this deeply. So let's relieve them and see if it makes it any better. No way. This is too strong. It's clicking, but it's like it's almost jamming. What the hell? This one's working. These ones are hard to press, but they are okay. This one was easier to press than this one, and now it's not. I might as well give up on this machine. Genuinely don't know what to do next. I've tried to lubricate. The only thing that misses is to over lubricate this and see if something gets freed up, but circuit board is off. So this is the play key. It's very deeply scratched in the back. This has some very deep scratches, and maybe this has to do with a problem. No, this place here is quite free, but yeah, this part of pressing the button is okay, but the next one, it's really hard, and the button is not coming back fully, so then you can't eject like it was happening moments ago. Well, should I use alcohol instead? Yeah, obviously I'm screwing with a belt, but yeah, I don't know. I'm out of ideas. Yeah, it's more or less working, but I'm really afraid to break this repair on the keys. But yeah, you can see that it works, but yeah, it's a bit scary. Yeah, but I know that today I'm doing this and it's working, and maybe tomorrow this thing will act up again. Maybe there's just too much wear on the mechanism and I can't do anything. Now after disassembling, it's working because the record key seems to have an impact on how and when the problem occurs. So if I make a slight press on the record key, it's almost impossible. Yeah, if I make a small pressure here, the eject function will not work, but if I pull it up, the ejection function works fine, and this hook unhooks the door. So this slight difference in this mechanism makes the eject function impossible, and if I pull it down, it works fine. So there's something to do with this mechanism here for the record button, jamming something inside there. So if I pull the record key up, the play button works fine, or more or less fine. Of course it still holds a lot of strength, but it fixes a lot easier when the record key is pulled up, but very, very much easier. I mean a lot easier than when the record key is more or less pulled up. Yeah, it requires a bit more strength. So we need to find a way to keep the record key pulled up in order to avoid this trouble of locking. Yeah, it locks this plastic tab, so it's not a good thing. Yeah, there's any kind of spring action. Okay, we might have to pull on the tabs on my repair on the key, because it might be helping this issue to occur. I'll give it more play there and leave the key working with gravity. I think that's what I'll do. Regarding the record key, I found out what the problem was. So my metal tabs that I did to repair the key were applying too much pressure on the mechanism, and the record detection for the tape was not working well, was being locked. So now I've relieved the tension and it's working fine, and play, stop and eject functions are being performed okay. So I think now this thing will be working fine. So as you can see, I can press play, mechanism locks, unlocks, and it opens the door. Let's reassemble. Magnetize. the play key can't make enough strength without bending all the keys, and when assembled in here, yeah, everything will bend with it and we can't lock the mechanism in place. So yeah, it's a lot of work for nothing. Are these tabs too long? That's another thing I'm going to test. I'm going to disassemble the keys again and cut them shorter. So I think the major flaws of the cassette mechanism are fixed. Just leaving a note to my future self: when rebuilding keys, leave the leverages shorter, because if you let them longer, they will need a lot more pressure to press on the key. As soon as I shortened this repair of the key, now the mechanism is working a lot lighter. So I just need to correct the order of these two keys and we are good to go. And after a lot of fiddling, I finally managed to make the mechanism work. And one of the biggest problems was I left the metal parts, when repairing the keys, I left them too long and they were needing a lot of extra pressure. So a note to all of you who want to repair this kind of keys: leave the length of the keys more or less the same as the originals, okay? At least on these 90-degree version ones. So now the mechanism is fully working. It accepts the play function pretty well. It even accepts the record function, and everything is working fine as well. So the keys might be a bit crooked or something, but yeah, this is very satisfactory because it was all much more complicated and now it's working fine. So now finally let's solder some wires back that got loose and reassemble the radio. Let's go, finally! And I can see bad news. It's a piece of a key that I thought it was lost and just fell out of the insides. Phew. I thought we had lost another one. Now the front part is assembled. We need to assemble this to the back part, but we need to fix this plug to the back part with a strong mechanical connection. So what we will be addressing next is that, but I think that before that I can plug this into my bench power supply and test if everything is working. So I think now it's one of those moments of truth. I just need to be sure that nothing is shorting. So bench power supply in 9 volts. Let's see what kind of life we get from this. Let's avoid shorts. I'll put positive on the red probe. So this is FM stereo, or this is FM stereo. Yeah, this is FM stereo. Yep, it plays radio. Let's check if it plays cassettes. So this is off position, but tape. Yeah, the camera ran out of battery exactly when I was testing. So radio is working. As you can see, terrible music, but radio is working. Let's check for the cassettes. It's playing, and it looks to be playing nice. Yep, it looks to be playing nice. So let's accept the tape as good. Now let's see if the CD player accepts something good. Whoop, it detected the tracks. And let's play. Play. So all the buttons are working, except, okay, the play button is not working. It works. It's working. And this is a very scratched disc that I have, and it plays fine. So I'm happy with this. Everything is working. Whew, what a relief. So let's try to reassemble the rest, see if we can improve this play button with contact cleaner or something, and give it a good clean. Everything's working. That's good. Or maybe I will be able to glue this and put a lot of epoxy around, and when everything is glued together it will be strong enough to stick the power plug. Let it dry and we'll see. Let's make a provisional fix and then I'll glue it to see if it holds, because it needs to resist the strength of inserting and pulling the power cord plug. And usually that's a very tight fit, so it must resist. Well, it's held down. Let's ultra unique get on the screw, on the post, on the parts that are being glued. Let's put the battery wires back. It's a bit better. It's strong. Let's hot glue this and put some hot glue around this plug either, and then make an elongation of that wire. So wire is soldered, and let's put the heat shrink. Looks perfect. And now hot glue. As you can see, the antenna is breaking. I can't do anything to this. So let's put the wire in, grab some solder. Fix the wire in the antenna. And then screw it back. So I need to find the antenna screw in the middle of all the others. It's held together, but yeah, it's quite limited. Test the strength. Yeah, it goes in and comes out nicely. Yeah, looks fine. Okay, now I will just put the buttons in. Now it's time to assemble the panels and wrap things up. And so our journey comes to an end. The CD mechanism is working perfectly. The cassette mechanism is working perfectly too. You can play and stop and eject, and it works most of the times. So I think this is a very successful repair. They were just minor fixes and strengthen it up a bit on this side because it was all flimsy, but in the end it's quite solid and it's working perfectly. So I think my friend
will be happy with it. To all of you, thank you very much for following the channel. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.